This is Gaming Through the Ages, and today we're taking a look at Ghost Sweeper Mikami Joreishi Nice Body, or Ghost Sweeper Mikami Exorcist Specialist Nice Body for the Super Famicom. Henceforth I will be calling it by the common abbreviation of just GS Mikami. GS Mikami was a manga and eventually anime series in the early 90s. My personal introduction to the series was with the movie, which was dubbed in English back when English dubs were a far cry from what they are today. This was before the internet was so ubiquitous, and I would find anime like Demon City Shinjuku to check out at video rental stores based on the VHS artwork. The dub quality was a complete coin toss. Apparently some of the anime series had an English dub created in Hong Kong, and much of this little known version was posted to YouTube at one point, but has since been taken down. I was not a fan of the movie, and haven't given the anime much more than a cursory glance, watched maybe a couple episodes, but if you are interested, Toei has the entire series subtitled in English up on YouTube as of this recording. The series follows Reiko Mikami's ghost sweeping company as they perform exorcisms on Japanese spirits and yokai, as the high population in Japan has forced many out of their resting places. Usually the series consists of Reiko's assistants failing to exorcise the spirits and Reiko stepping in to complete the job. The story is more comedic than spooky despite the art on display. Unfortunately, the comedy is derived almost entirely from exaggerations of negative character traits, which many may find humorless. In the Super Famicom game, you play as Reiko as she journeys to collect 7 jewels in order to place them into a statue received at the beginning of the game and have a wish granted. The gameplay consists of primarily killing enemies while traveling left to right through levels with a small amount of platforming, with the exception of the final stage. Reiko uses a baton to attack enemies, which can be powered up to shoot 3 different types of projectiles. Unfortunately, if Reiko is hit, she loses any power-up. She can also grab certain ledges and flip on top of them, but this is a bit awkward as the player needs to hit up and attack regardless of the direction they jump at the platform from. Reiko can also sustain 5 hits before losing life, but life can be refilled by finding cake power-ups throughout the levels. She has 3 lives before a game over, but is given a gloriously short password to return to the last level played. Additionally, if Reiko dies during a boss battle, she returns to the start of the boss battle as long as it's not a game over. There are also 2 power-ups Reiko can use, an extremely short freeze everything on screen attack, and an attack which sucks every minor enemy on the screen into a void, useful if the player is becoming overwhelmed. The graphics and enemy design are a big plus for the game, as the enemies are varied and the levels are fairly unique, even featuring one where you ride a cat and one where you ride a broomstick. The artwork is, for the most part, nice and atmospherically spooky. Unfortunately, most enemies' attack patterns are simply to fly towards the player's character, and it's rare that this changes outside of boss battles. The boss battles are really the centerpiece of the game, as they are unique and where 99% of the game's difficulty comes from. The third boss battle in particular is very difficult, and it makes a big difference if the player can manage to get to the boss with one of the baton power-ups. The music is really upbeat, and I actually found it getting a bit annoying. I'm assuming it's to match the more lighthearted tone of the story segments in between levels, but it just doesn't jive with the graphics, and I really found myself wishing for moments where the music would let up and let the artwork sink in. Speaking of the story segments, the game it does have story segments in Japanese, but you do not need to have any understanding whatsoever of Japanese to play and enjoy the game. Overall, I did enjoy my time with Ghost Sweeper Mikami, but this is the type of game I would have told someone to rent rather than purchase. The game was short at only 7 levels, and it didn't take very long to play through its entirety. It only took me a couple hours even with breaks. I doubt I would ever go back and play it again, but I do think it's worth a single playthrough.